Hi.
Hello.
Evening.
Hi. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce to you the Miss Face of Humanity, Philippines.
Thank you.
Angel, yes, okay. Angel, okay. Actually, yeah, this will be viewed by more people later on once I uploaded it in Instagram and into YouTube and shared it on Facebook later. But I'm so excited to get to know you because first, I'm a Filipino, and so definitely,
Yes.
it's always yeah, it's always exciting to interview a fellow kababayan. Okay, so are you ready? I will be asking you random questions, and for those who are watching, you are free to ask questions to Miss Face of Humanity Philippines, Miss Angel Santos. Okay, first, okay, Angel, how old are you?
I'm already 27. Beautifully 27 this year.
Yeah, 27, but you look very, very young. Okay, so could you please tell us about your background? Like, where are you from? The schools that you studied until you reach your university, education, because you are an engineer, right? Okay, so I'm giving you the floor to introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone who is watching, and I hope you will share this live so that many people will interact in this live interview as well. For all of you to get to know me as a representative of the Philippines in the Space of Humanity pageant. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Angeline Santos. You can call me Angel for short. I am an engineer by profession. I am currently living here in Manila, and I'm really happy to represent the Philippines in this edition of Miss Face of Humanity. I graduated at Lyceum of the Philippines University as a civil engineer, and I'm currently working at the Department of Public Works and Highways, which is a government office here in the Philippines. It is under the Public-Private Partnership Service, which focuses more on the expressway projects here in our country and also road projects. And aside from that, I am already at the end of the term of my master's degree. I am currently taking Master of Engineering Management, major in Construction Management at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. But then I had to stop. I only have one subject left, but then I had to stop. I have to stop because of the pandemic, because I prioritize my mental health. And most importantly, my advocacy is gender equality. For years, I have been a gender and development focal person in the Department of Public Works and Highways. My advocacy doesn't just talk about gender mainstreaming, gender disparity, but I am also focusing more in the area of violence against women and children, which is very timely because we have recently celebrated the 18-day violence against women and children 18-day challenge or 18-day week for that event. So why am I focusing on that area of gender? Because typically people will say it's too mainstream that we are talking about gender equality, it's too normal. But then what we are not seeing nowadays is that we know that gender equality should exist, but we are not instilling it within ourselves. And I, as a victim of gender-based violence, I really stand for those who are unheard. This is something really that it's really hard for me to open up to other people. But as a victim, most of us doesn't have the ability to speak about our experiences. And that is why I'm here today and I'm going on forever and ever to become part of that movement to help people who cannot speak out their voices. And that is me, Angeline Santos. Last but not the least, I am also an animal lover. I have three rescue cats. One as of the moment is beside me trying to
Mhm.
gain the spotlight, I would like to introduce you all to Santos. Last year, he now won.
Hello.
Yes. Oops, you beat me. And
Okay. It was so
yeah,
amazing. It was so amazing that, yeah, in spite of the fact that you were a victim yourself of gender inequality, you have that courage, to speak up right now and be the voice of those who were not able to defend themselves. No, so that's so amazing to know. And I heard, Angel, that you are not new in the pageant world, right? Could you please tell something about, some titles that you've gotten back in the Philippines?
yes, way back in 2018, my first pageant scene, which is a national pageant, is Miss World Philippines. I became one of the top 40 candidates. And then following after 2 years, I tried Miss Philippines Earth 2020, and I was a runner-up at that edition. What was really inspiring about joining this pageant is I was given a platform to voice my opinion, to be heard by other people, and that I'm really grateful that I am now representing the Philippines in the Miss Face of Humanity pageant.
Okay, amazing. So, Angel, could you please bring us to the time when you were chosen as Miss Face of Humanity? Because I believe most of the countries who will participate or who participated actually in the search are actually handpicked, or I mean, there was no actual pageant in the respective countries because of the pandemic. But in the Philippines, how did they get you? How did they crown you as Miss Face of Humanity?
Actually, I was also handpicked, but there were three girls who have been evaluated at that time, and I was luckily selected for the position to represent our country. But I heard that next year we will be selecting a girl to represent our country through a pageant.
Okay. And when they approach you, when the organization approached you about this Face of Humanity, what was the reason why you did not hesitate? Now, considering this Face of Humanity Global Showcase is actually a new competition for women with purpose, right? So, what made you decide to really, okay, I'll go for it?
First and foremost, the first thing that I did when I heard Miss Face of Humanity is research about it. And then when I saw their mission, their vision, I was really elated that I can have the opportunity to be part of the pageant and their advocacies.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so uh, what is your view about? Okay, I'll be asking you random questions now because if asking you questions will definitely give us a glimpse of who you are as a person, as a woman, and as a queen, or as a face of humanity. Uh, what will you say to to a global terrorist if you will have a chance to meet one?
First, I would like to ask what their purpose is in what they're doing in our world right now. And then second, I will tell them that in this in the world that we face, we are facing a lot of adversities. But I think that the best thing that we could do is try to understand our differences. And once we understand our differences, then we can become someone who is compassionate about people's lives. Because what we are trying to impose in this one is that terrorism should end because we should love one another. Because if we understand and love one another, then there's going to be peace all around us, and there's going to be a sense of balance for each and every one of us.
Okay, you're so articulate, Miss Philippines. I mean, you have a strong,
Here,
control of the English language, no? Which I think is, something that is, advantageous on your part. And according to Miss Face of Humanity Philippines organization, they chose you because of your story and your willingness to serve. So that's very, that's
Oh,
fantastic, Thank you, Miss Face of Humanity Philippines. You've chosen the right girl, the right woman to represent the country for the Miss Face of Humanity. Uh, how about same-sex marriages? Although I know that the Philippines is actually very open to that, but of course, as a face of humanity, you can't help but to, encounter people from all over the world. There are some parts of the world or some countries wherein same-sex marriage is not really acceptable. What is your take on this?
actually, there's a lot of people who have been asking me this same question as a gender equality advocate. But then, based on experience, I have a grandfather who is married to the same sex in the US. And what really inspired me in this topic, which is the same sex marriage, is that people who are engaging in same sex marriage are binded by their love. And we should understand that. That love doesn't see gender. Love is not about your height, your age, your race. Love is all about understanding somebody. Love is about being able to engage their difference. And that I think same-sex marriage should be open for people, not just for something that we think that is not religiously proper, but it is something that we should understand as a binding thing for people who wanted to live with each other. Not just today, but for their futures as well.
Yeah, very well said. Okay, will you? So is that tantamount to you saying that it's fine with you if you will have a transgender woman as a competitor in the space of humanity, for example only.
For me, trans trans women are considered women already. So if they wanted to become part of the competition, I don't think that their participation will disallow me to give my all, give my advocacy, and use the global showcase as a platform for my voice. I think each and every woman have their own share of opportunity in this competition.
Okay. So it's very obvious that you have the facility of the language, so very articulate, no? But there are actually some Miss Face of Humanity sisters that you have who have in who had shared to me that they're a bit struggling in the use of the English language, but then I told them that it's not really a problem because the questions that I'll be asking are actually something about yourself. So, but do you think facility of the language, of the English language, is important and necessary for you to become Miss Face of Humanity?
I honestly doesn't have the best ability to speak in English language. I am just articulate because I studied it. But for
Mm.
me, being able to speak a certain language doesn't really measure your ability to become a representative of an organization. Your a certain language doesn't stand for someone's intelligence. What's more important is our emotional quotient rather than our intelligent quotient. Because more importantly, as a representative of Miss Face of Humanity, we should consider the love for humankind.
Wow. Okay. Uh, well, the Philippines is also known for being, pageant lovers. No, majority of the Filipinos, when there are beauty pageants, the world literally stops, right, in the Philippines because they're supporting their candidate. But still, we cannot claim that 100% are into beauty pageants. What are you going to say to someone who doesn't believe in the cause of beauty pageants?
I have encountered lots of people who are really questioning why am I joining pageants. I myself, before joining pageants, have questioned why women would sacrifice their time, their effort. They had to do with their hair, their makeup, just to be heard by other people. But that was a very old thinking already because pageants, beauty pageants have transformed already. Many women who are joining in beauty pageants have already settled in being someone who can represent a certain cause. And it's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing that we women are given a certain platform to voice out our opinions, our advocacy, which will inspire more people. And I think there's lots of people that I have inspired already. And it really melts my heart when someone listens to what I'm selling to anyone, to everyone. That's all.
Okay. Uh, Now, uh, what will you say? I do not know now. In the Philippines, it's still online learning, right? I mean, the students are attending. The platform is still online schooling. No? So, uh, what can you say about your about the online schooling in the Philippines, and what would you want to tell those who feel so bored, those who feel that online schooling is not effective because there are a lot of students who are complaining about this kind of schooling. So, what can you advise to them? What do they need to understand and to realize?
To the children who are still attending school, and if any one of these kids feel quite bored or they feel like their online or distance learning is not really the best thing that they can have while they're having their education, I would like to tell these children that we are now facing the pandemic, and this is the only option that we can have to give safety to each and every one of us, because our children is of course the future, and we have to take care of our children. And with distance learning, the children are given the same opportunity that we have in the classroom. And I think the government here in the Philippines is really trying their best to really provide safety while providing quality education.
Okay, okay. Let's entertain a question from King of Queens, Fashion, and Design. They say everyone has a purpose. What do you think is your purpose?
I already found my purpose, and it is to really touch lives. I am I am a speaker as well, aside from being an engineer. I do a lot of talks. I've been a speaker for the International Women's Day last year, and I think that is my purpose, which is to speak about the cause, which is gender equality. And it really inspires me every time I hear different experiences, different stories. And from those stories that I hear, I use the opportunity that I as a speaker to share it to other people to inspire them as well.
Okay, a follow-up question to the same account, King of Queens, Fashion, and Design. I heard you are a singer. Kindly show us your skill, please. I didn't know that. No, so you are a singer, right? So could you please, give us a glimpse of your voice? I mean, your favorite song, probably.
Okay, I will think of a song. Give me one sec. Okay, here's the song that came in my mind since we are talking about humanity and children. I believe that every children's our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, that's all. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, beautiful. My gosh, you have a very good voice, no? You're so talented. Uh,
Thank
uh,
you.
Angel, the mistakes of humanity update is requesting if you could, sing a million dreams.
Sure, sure, sure. That's one thing that I really love singing because out of all the girls, I'm already closer to my dreams, and a million
Okay.
dreams is part of being part of Miss Face of Humanity. So here it goes. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up to me that I call my. Through the dark, through the door, through what no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds true. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call us free. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Thank you.
Wow, I'm now a fan. I've already been a fan since I saw your photo in the Instagram, and now that you have shown your talent, I'm more than a fan. Like that's so wonderful. I hope you could also show that. Showcase that talent in the Mistakes of Humanity.
So
Okay. Do you have Angel? Do you have other siblings, or are you an only child? Or what?
I actually have one brother and one sister, and I'm the eldest. And I'm proud to say that I was raised by a single father. He really inspired
Oh,
me in so many ways. And I know he's watching tonight through my
I greet
sister.
you.
Yes. Hello, Papa. I hope you're doing great. I hope to see you soon again by this weekend. I only see him every weekend because I work in the weekdays here in Manila.
Okay. Hello, hello, Papa. Okay. So you are working right now, Angel, as an engineer, right? At the Department of Public Works and Highway. Yeah. So, I guess, no, an engineer turned beauty queen. Okay. So now let's talk about the pandemic. Angel. Wait, there are some questions here. I think. You mentioned on your post that silence is the best friend of violence. Kindly tell us more about it.
As someone who has been a victim of gender-based violence, I all I can say is that a lot of victims the what has happened in their life before, what has happened or what has occurred during the violence that they have experienced, because they are afraid that people will judge them as they encounter the situation. And I myself says that lots of people have judged me when that happened to me. I also, during that event, I experienced lots of physical abuse. And at that moment, I was already an advocate for gender. And as I experienced that gender-based violence, really, I came to the conclusion that when you're a victim, you don't really have, you sometimes doesn't have the courage to speak out about it because of the fear of judgment, not just for yourself, but for someone who has committed the violence to you. Because sometimes the people who commit this violent act are the people that you love, and you don't want that person to experience any judgment from the society. So I guess this pageant really opened my eyes to use my voice to help those who are unheard. Because when you're silent, you're just encouraging. the acts of the people to continue violating you or committing different bad things to these people around us.
Okay, there's a question here from the King Fernando. If you win Miss Face of Humanity, what country would you like to visit first?
The first country that I would like to visit first would be, of course, my country, the Philippines, for my homecoming because I am really proud to represent the Philippines because, the Filipino has a really heartwarming welcome to anyone. We don't discriminate. We are hospitable people. And so it is the Philippines that I would like to visit first once I win the title Miss Face of Humanity.
Okay, another question. What is your message of hope for the people around the world?
Okay, my message of hope for the people around the world. In the face of adversity, most of us are already giving up, losing hope during this pandemic. But once again, people are gifted by God with resiliency and compassion. We should use the opportunity of this resiliency and compassion to help one another. Because as we stand together and help one another, we can face any kinds of challenges and we can overcome this pandemic. And that is my message of hope for everyone.
Wow, okay. Now, let's talk about this pandemic. Now, what was the greatest lesson that you've learned from this pandemic?
There's lots of things that I have learned, but the that one thing that really hit me is that as a workaholic, I used to be a workaholic. I realized the importance of quality time with the people that you love. And that is my greatest learning during this pandemic that one should not give give in into their what do you call this in their dreams of becoming too successful. We are Most of the people around us are blinded by power, by money, by success, because we all think that our lives should revolve through these three things: success, money, and power. But what we are not seeing is that our purpose in this world is not to be successful, not to have money, not to become the most famous person in the world. Rather, what's important in this lifetime is the contentment in our hearts and our ability to give compassion to one another, to help one another, because we are given this opportunity to live in this world as a human being. And being a human, you're given God the power to help not just humankind, but also all of the living things that we are facing or we are encountering in this world.
Okay, Angel, you are literally eating the microphone.
I
Oh
think
my
I'm
God.
trained by my past and especially
Yeah, you're so, one good thing about you, Angel, is that you're so passionate. I mean, you really know what you want. You have a definite purpose, no, in joining the Miss Space of Humanity, and that's very evident. And we could really see that. We could really feel that. And I think the Miss Space of Humanity organization in the Philippines actually has chosen the right woman to represent the Philippines. No? Congratulations to Space of Humanity Philippines Org, no, for choosing Angel as the representative because he rightfully deserves it. Okay? Now, let's talk about the vaccination. I'm sure you are already vaccinated, right? Mhm. But there are still other people who still don't want to be vaccinated and they feel that it's a violation of their rights because they think that it's not supposed to be imposed on them. So, as a face of humanity, how will you encourage your fellow Filipinos and the people all around the world to have vaccination?
while this is a really good topic because I have a friend who doesn't want to get vaccinated due to his religious belief. I don't want to impose anyone to have their vaccination if they don't want to. But as we try to gain herd immunity, through vaccination. I encourage each and every one of us who have the power or who wants to get vaccinated now, because you're not just helping your body's immune system, but you're also helping others to be protected from the coronavirus.
Wow. Okay. So, um, what do you think, Angel, is the number one environmental problem in the Philippines?
I think the number one environmental problem that we are facing is um, pollution in the rivers, in our water systems. The pollution in our water systems is what is causing our ecosystems to fail. Because it is a system that we are not seeing, that is also affecting humankind. Our ecosystem is one of the most vital things in the lives of human beings. And if we are not protecting our waters, we are also poisoning ourselves. So it is important that use our we, we gain our minds and our hearts to protect our oceans, our rivers, all of our water forms. Because even if we don't have food, we can survive with water only. And also,
Okay. Yes,
food
continue.
food production can only thrive with clean and pure water. That's all.
Wow. Okay. You are very smart, Miss Philippines. Okay. Uh, what do you think can the Philippines offer to the world? What does your country, can offer to the world?
For one, Filipinos are really good singers. Most of the Filipinos, we can really engage the whole world with our talents, with our charms. But most importantly, one of the best values that a Filipino can share to the world is our family values. The Filipinos are known to have really close family ties. And I can attest to that because I really love my family, and most of the things that I am doing in life is for my family. And as I try to move on with my life, I am imposing all the values that my father has gave me. And of course, I would like to show the world that the Philippines is a country that is heartwarming and is open to anyone, regardless of their race, their gender, their ethnicity. And that is the
Okay. Yeah. Angel, the Miss Face of Humanity is actually a different, a different pageant. As a matter of fact, they don't want to call it a pageant, but a
yes.
global showcase, right? What are some of the preparations that you're doing prior to the pageant?
I am really having a hard time with my weight. That is one of the most sensitive things that I really don't like when people are trying to notice that I'm gaining weight, that I'm losing weight, because it's important. The looks of someone is important in this kind of global showcase or pageants. But I would like to tell each and every one of you to not be too focused on your looks, but rather focus on what's in your heart. I'm trying to fix what is happening in my body by eating healthy right now. I am suffering from polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that's what's causing my gain weight. And I'm really addressing it through eating proper food, which is fresh produce, and lots of fruits and vegetables. And of course, aside from being healthy and fit, I go to the gym regularly. I am currently training under the Kagandahang Forest Camp every week. And I'm really grateful to, especially to Tito Rogil for giving me the opportunity to help in my pageant journey. Lastly, I am studying a lot about, not just about the pageant, but also about the whole humanity and what needs to be addressed, especially during this pandemic.
Yeah, you're right, no? Because Angel, this Face of Humanity being is actually a pageant or a competition that really live up to the to the advocacies, no? I'm sorry, because as based on the women that I have talked to, they're really very passionate about, we are all passionate about the advocacy that you're promoting. And it's not just an advocacy for the sake of having advocacy. You are really walking the talk, right? You walk the talk. I mean, and that's so amazing. Uh, from King Fernando, he said Anthony is such an amazing person. I can feel it even in the screen. So that's how powerful your presence is. No, because even if on screen you are able to engage your audience, that means to say you're really a very powerful woman and you're an inspiration to everybody all over the world. So I hope you continue that passion in promoting your advocacy because gender equality is something that you really have to really promote because up to now we haven't achieved you know that equality that everybody is longing for. No? Okay, so uh, this is a question from the organization. Yeah, this is a question from the Space of Humanity. Why should you be crowned as the Miss Space of Humanity?
I, Miss Philippines Angeline Santos, should be crowned as the next Miss Face of Humanity because I am compassionate not just for myself to win this competition, but also for the opportunity to use the platform to voice out my advocacy and the organization's advocacy. And if I become Miss Face of Humanity, I will use that opportunity to become an ambassador of hope and love for humanity.
Wow. Okay. So, the Space of Humanity organization, that's the answer of this Space of Humanity Philippines question. Okay. Now, let's talk about social media. Okay. I'm very sure this is one of the platforms that you're using to promote your cause, your advocacy and all, and for the people to know more about you. So, uh, have you encountered, an internet basher, and how did you handle such basher, internet basher, like someone who commented negatively in your social media platform? So, how do you handle that, if ever there's one?
Actually, there's a lot of bashing already that I have experienced way, way back since I started in pageantry. Before, I would get affected with their opinion, with what they're saying. But then, as I grow into life and I became more mature, I understood that other people's opinions, especially those who you don't know, especially those who you don't love, doesn't matter at all. Because at the end of the day, what matters the most is your opinion about yourself. Because if you see yourself as a beautiful person, then other people will see it right through where you are smiling at.
Okay, so internet bashers don't have a room for
Yes.
Angel. Okay, Angel, what do you think is the biggest challenge that young women like you are facing nowadays?
Well, the biggest challenge that we are still facing today as women is still related to my advocacy, which is gender equality. As a civil engineer, which is, as we all know, is a male-dominated industry, many women still is having a hard time penetrating into proving that women can do what most men think can only do by men only. And I think that this challenge can only be addressed if we start understanding that gender differences doesn't define each and every one of us capabilities and abilities. That's all.
Okay. So are you saying, Angel, that nowadays women are not yet enjoying the same trust and the same benefits and privileges that men do in the workplace?
Actually, not just women, but also the third sex. They're still experiencing that in the workplace. And I think that we still have to open our hearts in this kind of topic because if we will not try to understand our differences and stop discrimination, then we will not move forward and achieve the goals that we are trying to achieve, especially the sustainable developmental goals that we're trying to achieve in the future.
Okay, let's talk about a personality that you would want to meet and why.
The personality that I would like to meet, very cliche, but it's still Angelina Jolie. Not just for her angelic face, but she is known to become someone who is a philanthropist. She loves helping other people, and I would like to ask her how she stays gorgeous and still have the ability to help other people.
Okay, Angelina Jolie is the favorite, is the choice of beauty queens. Okay, now,
Yeah.
let me ask you the question that was asked to Maxine Medina during the Miss Universe. What was the most, or what is the most significant change you've seen in the world in the last 10 years?
The most significant change that I've seen in the world for the last 10 years is, of course, our technology and our ability to communicate through this technology. While it has its disadvantages, it also helped us in so many ways to communicate to the people that we love all over the world. And it's really important that we use this opportunity, this platform, to spread love and kindness.
Okay. Personally, I know you're still very young, but of course, uh, the gravity of the experience that you had is not that, strong yet because you're still very young. But what is the greatest obstacle that you have encountered in your life, and what did you do to overcome such obstacle?
The greatest obstacle that I have faced is when our mother left us for another family. So why was it hard at that time? Because it was hard to understand why she did that to us because we really love our mother. But then as I grew up, as I tried to understand the world, the best thing that I did to overcome that challenge is to accept and forgive my mother because she's just human. Humans are meant to make mistakes. We are not made to be perfect. And through those mistakes, we learn so many things. And I really love her so much.
Okay. So a question again from our audience. Given a chance to meet God, what question would you like to ask Him?
If I will be given a chance to meet God, I don't think I'll have any question for him because I know that everything that is happening around us is happening for a reason.
Okay. What do you think is the most important quality from this phase of humanity?
I think the most important quality for a Miss Face of Humanity is her heart, her ability to understand other people, her ability to commit to change. Because if the Miss Face of Humanity is someone who is flexible to the adversities of life, then she will also understand human differences, and with that understanding, she can have the opportunity to give compassion with a whole heart to everyone.
Okay. Another question. Which gives you more challenge as an engineer or as a beauty queen?
Well, it gives me more challenge to become a beauty queen because being a beauty queen is not just about being beautiful. You also have to stand by the confidence, by the inspiration. You also have to have the impact to inspire people. You also have to have the impact to make people look at you. And you also have to have the knowledge and the heart to inspire people through your advocacy.
Okay. Oh, wow. Your answers are so amazing. I would like to say hi to Face of the Media. Hello. They're watching right now. Okay. Now, what makes you proud as a woman?
I am really proud as a woman because we are given the nurturing and compassionate nature. Not just women, not just natural born women, but trans women, people with a feminine heart. All of those people who have given that woman's heart are empowered with compassion and nurture love. And with that, I am able to reach out to other people to provide my help, to provide my love for others. I can attest that because I have rescued so many cats, dogs, and dogs already. I also have gave hope to the people around me by helping others.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Angel, I think your personality. You are a charmer. You have a very good personality, and eventually, later on, probably after the Mistakes of Humanity pageant, you will be offered to work in the showbiz industry, right? Are you open to that?
Before I wasn't really open because I have a previous offer. I have previously been offered by a certain big company, but I had to turn that down at the time because I would like to give my name first as an engineer in the engineering industry. But now I think I'm ready to face another challenge and try to enter the entertainment industry.
Okay. What do you think women learn from, what do you think men can learn from women?
I think that men can learn what the best thing that men can learn from women is the ability to listen. Most of us just listen on the words that people say. But we forget that those words have a deeper meaning. And that is the best ability that women have. Our ability to listen through our hearts. And once we have that ability to listen through our hearts, then we can already convey or respond to the people's words to each and every one of us.
Okay. Angel, where did you finish your high school?
I finished it in Cavite, in this International Academy.
Oh, you graduated from British International Academy. Okay. Oh, okay. That's so you're from Cavite.
Yes, in Cavite. How about you po? I would like to ask.
Yeah, I'm also from Cavite. Imus.
Really? Evos! I'm from Teresa Martinez. So close!
Oh, so close, really. Okay, I hope when I have an opportunity to have a vacation or a break from our school, I could meet you there in the
Yes,
Philippines. Yeah.
please.
Oh,
Or I can visit
okay.
there in Indonesia.
Okay. Uh, how? Okay, this is a good question, Angel. No? This Face of Humanity has been postponed like twice or thrice already, right? So because of the pandemic, how long could you wait? What if on April there will be another postponement? So what are you going to do? Will you still be willing to wait and all?
I think I'm still willing to wait because I have already inculcated my heart in the competition. Because I have already prepared. I don't want to stop midway because I have given my all, not just for the pageant, but also for the Philippines. Because us Filipinos are known to be fighters, and up until the end, I will still wait for the opportunity to represent my country in the Miss Face of Humanity Global Show.
Okay, by the way, Angel, I think your sister, Miss Face of Humanity Thailand, is here. Yeah? Hi,
Ah,
Miss Thailand.
study
She said she studied in Cavite too at De La Salle University.
the Super
Oh,
University as well in Lyceum of the Philippines. I studied in
oh,
Lyceum of the Philippines.
okay, so it's amazing that Miss Thailand is watching. Hello. Okay.
Hi, in Thailand. I really miss Thailand's food. When I went to Thailand in 2019, I really don't want to go home because I really love their fried rice, their Thai milk tea, and I miss that a lot. Even here in the Philippines, still try to search for Thai milk tea that taste like the ones in Thailand.
Yeah. I'm also excited to get to talk to Miss Thailand soon. Okay. Now there's a question from Tiarara. What is your biggest fear and how do you plan to overcome it?
Actually, it's still funny, but my biggest fear are worms. I try to overcome worms. I would like to try to overcome worms by becoming a plant person. I really love plants, but as of the moment, I really don't have the guts to um engage in planting because my cat loves destroying my plants. As of the moment, I have an aloe vera plant, and while we're doing our live, my cat is trying to remove the loam soil inside my plant. So I guess that is the best way that I will do, the best way to overcome my fear, which is planting.
Okay. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I remember being asked the same question by my professor in my masters. And he gave me a very low mark because I answered that in the next 5 years I'll be an international engineering consultant, that I will be successful in the engineering industry and blah 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 and everything. He gave me a low mark despite my very good write up because he thinks that I am missing something in life, which is myself and which is seeing myself in the next 5 years being happily contented, not just a family person but someone who has fulfilled their goals. And that really hit me, and I see myself in the next 5 years as a happy person. If luckily if I will have my own family, then that is fine, and I will be grateful. And if not, I will still be happily going to engage with my family, my father, my sister, and of course my cats and dogs.
Okay, good. Let's say hi to Miss Face of Humanity France,
Hi,
Marinda. Hi, Marinda.
and I hope to see you soon.
You're so lucky, huh? Most of your sisters are watching.
Yes, they're all watching.
They're very supportive. Yeah, okay. No, now, what are you going to say? Because you've been to different pageants, right? So you're not new in this arena. What are you going to tell to someone who is very new in the pageant and who wants to try it?
Okay, okay. So that one thing that I would like to tell that person who would like to join a pageant and being a newbie is that they have to be true to themselves. The best way to penetrate into a pageant is being authentic. Because once the people and the judges see that you are true to yourself, then you can definitely clinch the crown. So as long that you are passionate as well in the advocacy of the pageant.
Okay. So now, let's talk about plastic surgery. There are some women who undergo plastic surgery because they want to, feel confident about themselves, and that even beauty pageant contestants. No, what is your view about a candidate who has undergone plastic surgery?
I don't discriminate women who undergo plastic surgery, men or women who undergo plastic surgery rather, because it is your own body. So if you think that you will feel more confident, you will feel more of yourself by enhancing your face. Then just just make yourself feel that after that occurrence, after that surgery, that you are still new inside and that you are happy with what you're seeing in the mirror.
Okay. How about this one? Are you in favor of online dating? Do you
There's
think
no
it's appropriate? It's appropriate for a woman like you to have an online dating profile and to go on online dates.
I'm guilty about this. Honestly, I have tried dating apps before when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. I honestly did use an online dating app. I think it is proper to say that dating apps is okay, just as long that you know that you are safe while using the platform. You have to become meticulous. You have to really be cautious when you're entering online dating apps because as we all know, online dating is really normal nowadays as we are all already online. And that is the only thing that we should consider. We should be very cautious because we never know who we're going to meet online and in the real world.
Mhm. You know what, Angel, the good thing about you also, if I may say, is that you always extract personal experience from in your answers. That's why it becomes very authentic, it becomes so natural. And you're so honest, yeah? Because others would deny that they have, used online dating profile, but you're so honest enough to admit that, which is very, inspiring for everybody. Okay. Uh, w- what made you decide to go into a beauty pageant? Because being an engineer and being a beauty queen, they are two different worlds, right? So what made you decide to really embark on a beauty pageant, some sort of journey?
My very first pageant is a local pageant in my city, which is Mutya 13, where I won third place. But before I joined that pageant, I was a really, what do you call this? I was a girl who really loved confidence. I was really beautiful at the moment. So what really encouraged me to join firstly was to improve my confidence. So when I stepped in my first pageant, I have zero knowledge. My weakness is Q&A, question and answer. That is one of my weakness. But I was really good in pasarela at that time. I don't know how. So what really made me stay in joining pageants was when it transformed. It was at that time that the beauty pageant industry is transforming, and many women is using it as a platform for their advocacies. And lots of women who are entering this pageant are those that have degrees already, who are doing great in their industry. So why can't I? So I tried my best to really study the industry of pageantry. And while juggling my studies, I joined pageants on the side. While my father doesn't know that. He doesn't encourage me before because it's going to hinder my passion, but it really helped me develop my speaking or communication skills, my confidence. It really helped me find myself. And what you see
Yeah,
right
and it
now
shows.
Yes, and what you see right now is produced by beauty pageants here in the Philippines because Filipinos are hardcore fans of pageants.
Yes, exactly. Okay, what is the hardest part of being in Miss Philippines? Because I mean, I think the context of this question is that, as a beauty queen, as a Miss Philippines, of course, you are preparing to represent the country. At the same time, you have to be watchful and careful about your ways, your moves in the public, right? So, what is the hardest part of being a Miss Face of Humanity Philippines or a beauty queen?
I think the hardest part is living up to the expectations of the Filipino people because most of the Filipinos are expecting you to win. Most of the people are expecting you to really stand out among the other candidates because you're Philippines. But then I do not want to get swayed by these kinds of opinions because these challenges doesn't revolve around me. The challenge that I need to face is not the challenge that other people would like me to do, but rather what I would like to happen to myself.
Okay, this next question is again from the organization. What are some of the activities and preparations that you're doing to promote this space of humanity?
Right now, I am doing live interviews, and I'm also going on the ground to promote not just myself as a Philippine representative, but also the pageant because not most of the people here in the Philippines know this pageant because it's quite new, and I am really doing my best to encourage people to know or understand what the organization is all about. And if I stand in the Miss Face of Humanity stage, I would proudly say that us Filipinos can contribute in this organization with our hearts and compassion.
Okay, so did you have a group of friends who will be joining you in Canada this coming April?
Actually, my aunt, my dad's sister is currently living in Toronto, and I think she's going to
Okay.
rather the Filipino community in
Yeah.
Canada. I'm really happy that I will have the whole Philippines with me in Canada too.
Yeah, okay. There are so many Filipinos in Canada. So this Space of Humanity organization I mean, expects the Filipinos in Canada to be trooping the venue to support this Space of Humanity Philippines. Okay, so uh, where can your fans vote for you? Because I
Okay.
think they need to vote for you, right?
Okay, so everyone who is watching right now, you may vote for me through the Miss Face of Humanity.org website, and you can click my picture and send your votes today. Today, not tomorrow, but today. Or even tomorrow or even next week, because we have lots of time until March. And also,
Yeah,
I would
until
like
March.
Yes, I would like to add, for those people who are watching tonight, I hope you will support my For Love for Humanity project that I will be launching soon. And in that way, I can promote not just myself, my advocacy, but also the organization of this Face of Humanity. I
Okay.
hope you will.
Angel, can you please mention the different accounts that you have, the Instagram account or Facebook or whatever other accounts that you have, so that they can follow and like and subscribe.
I hope you can all follow my Instagram account because it needs a little helping. It's a new Instagram account. I lost my old Instagram account. So guys, please do follow my Instagram account at ENGR or Engineer Angel Santos. You can also like my Facebook page, Angel Santos, and of course, Miss Face of Humanity Philippines Instagram and Facebook account.
Okay, definitely we will follow that. Yeah, no, but you have your personal account as well, right?
Yes,
Instagram personal. What is your personal account in Instagram?
that's Engineer Angeline Angel Santos, rather.
Okay, okay, so please do follow that. Okay, now, if you will be given 1 minute, okay, we're giving you 1 minute to give your message to the world. What would be that message be? What will that message be? I'm giving you the floor.
To the world, I would like to say that for us human beings to more move forward, we should all start understanding our cultural differences, our gender differences, our difference in beliefs. Because as we try to understand each and every one of us, we're giving each and every one of us an opportunity to open our hearts to the differences and to the love for humanity. And I hope that this message will touch each and every one of you to start this change within yourself and try to be more compassionate to each and every one.
Okay, okay. Now, what's your message to your family?
My message to my family is that I don't want to cry, but I hope that you are always safe and that I'm always safe too because everything that I do, I always keep with myself, my heart and your hearts with me. And I hope that when I get to Toronto for the Miss Face of Humanity, you will all look forward, not just me winning, but also gaining more learnings, which I think will help not just myself, but also our family. Because my family is really close. We only are three people in my family, my sister, my father, and me, because my brother is with my mother. And our bond is really tight, and they are my rock, and they really are the people who understands me a lot. And I really love you. Hi, Kyra. She's watching my live. That's my sister. That's my beautiful
Yeah.
sister. I love you so
Hi,
much.
Thailand.
I will cook sinigang for you later. Our favorite. And Sir Dudes, I really thank you for this opportunity because I was able to convey my emotions. Although sometimes I can be a little bit upbeat because I am filled with happy emotions because representing the Philippines is one of the proudest glory that I have gained in this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're an amazing woman, Angel, and I think you will give a good fight in the pageant. And your message to all the Filipinos, not only in the Philippines but all over the world, they will be able to watch this.
So all of the Filipinos, not just here in the Philippines, I would like to first have your eyes and ears to support me in the Miss Face of Humanity Global Showcase. And I know that we are all facing different challenges during this pandemic, but I know that as we Filipinos are born with resiliency, we can all stand together and also surpass these challenges that we are facing during this pandemic. So laban lang mga kababayan, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Okay, your message to your Miss Space of Humanity sisters. Many are watching you.
Yes, to my Miss Face of Humanity sisters, first and foremost, I would like to thank you for watching this live interview. Thank you for supporting me, my sisters. And I hope to see you all soon. I have a pasalubong, or what we call gifts from the Philippines, that I will be giving you to give a taste of the Philippines as well. And I know that we are all feeling a little bit giddy, we are feeling a little bit nervous, but don't worry, you're all beautiful in your own ways.
Yeah, wow, amazing. And to the organization.
And of course, to the Miss Face of Humanity organization, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to become a part of your organization. And I will prove to you that I can really become the next Miss Face of Humanity. So see you all in Toronto, Canada this March.
Okay, so Angel, they are asking, how will you introduce yourself at your introductory, your introduction to the Miss Space? How will you introduce yourself? Could you please do this?
Okay. Hi, I'm Angeline Santos, 27, from the Philippines.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual warm round of applause and a virtual hug to our Miss Space of Humanity Philippines, my kababayan. Okay, Miss Angel Santos, Engineer Angel Santos.
Thank you so
Angel, thank you
much.
so much. Okay, thank you
Well,
so
thank you
much.
so much po sa opportunity. I really enjoyed tonight's live interview, and I hope that you will have a great night there in Indonesia. And
Yeah,
if you have had your dinner, if you haven't had your dinner, have your dinner already. Stay safe
yeah.
po dyan, and see you soon
Okay.
if you will have a chance. Thank you po so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Once again, Miss Face of Humanity Philippines, Angel Santos. Thank you,
Thank you so
Angel.
much.
Bye.
Bye.